Hey guys, let's jump straight into it today. One of the most common mistakes made when people are writing is the use of the word there, or which variation to use in which situation. So the aim of this video is just to give a quick example of exactly which one is used and in which scenario. So let's start with the beginning one. So we've got there. Now this one is used to denote a location. For example, you might say, my dog is over there, meaning that your dog might be the other side of the room. For example, someone might have said to you, where is your dog? And you would say, my dog is over there. And it's the same in a sentence. It denotes a location. So say you're writing a story and the story involved a character, we might say this, the hero walked over there. So that is where this one in particular would be used. Now, the next example is there. Now, this one is possessive, meaning something belongs to someone. So you might say their dog, meaning that the dog belongs to them, or their newspaper, meaning the newspaper belongs to them. So you can you can add an S on the end of this as well. So if someone said, who does that newspaper belong to? You could say that is theirs. And that is where this one comes into play. Now, this can also be for non-tangible things you can't touch or hold, for example. You could use it to say about someone's attitude, for example. You could say, their attitude is not right in this scenario. Their attitude is not helping. And that is the correct way, because the attitude belongs to them, therefore it's possessive. The attitude is theirs, not yours, because your attitude would possibly be different in that situation. So that is when this particular example would be used. So that's when this one will be used. And then after this, we have this one here, which is basically a conjunction of two words, hence why there's a little apostrophe just there. Now this one could be used when a person or a group of people is doing something. For example, you could say they're playing football in the park, which means even though the football is owned by one of them and therefore possessive in that regard, you're talking about the action, not the object involved, but you are talking about the people involved, hence the they part. Now the RE at the end, now the apostrophe denotes that there's an omission of letters and possibly a space. And in this example, the omission is this. If you were to take away the omission, you would have they are. So what that would mean is, if you're stuck on which one to use in a sentence, if you were to write that sentence using the words they are, then this here is the correct way of putting it. If you want to write it a long way, you can write they are playing in the park. But if you want to abbreviate it, if you want to make it shorter, then you'd use the example at the top here. And that is the basis of them. So if we take a quick walk through again, so we have this one there. So this one can be used to denote a location. It can also be used to denote things in the English language. For example, there are many letters in the English language. There are many newspapers in that news rack over there. Now, if you notice in that last sentence, I used there twice. Number one was to denote the location of letters, that there are many of them, and number two, I denoted the amount of magazines in the news rack and where the news rack was. Now we've got this one, which is possessive, so in other words, something belongs to someone. Their newspaper, or their dog, their jacket, their attitude. And then after that we have there, which denotes an action that a person or a group of people is taking. For example, they are playing football, they're going swimming. It's a conjunction of two words with the omission of the A and the space. So that's how these ones work. Now, thank you very much for your time in watching this video. I hope it's been some help to you, and I hope you manage to use there correctly in sentences from now on. If you like the video, please click like, please click subscribe. There will be more videos regarding different lessons in the English language, such as different uses of the word your, which will be my next video coming up. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to chatting to you again soon. Thank you.